Hey, you guys! It's your girl Latanya. Is the is the camera on? We're running. Mic sound good? Oh shoot, mic is all the way over here. Okay, so mic check, mic check. Adjust it real quick. All right, all right. How do we sound now? All right, you guys, do not mind me. I am just talking to my imaginary team. Well, welcome to the Lulu. It's the Salulu. I'm just kidding. Welcome to Soil and Soul. Ooh, let me correction. Welcome to Soul and Soil podcast. This is not an official episode. I just wanted to drop a little gem, and it's Mental Health Monday, so this is really in honor of Mental Health Monday. It's Mental Health Monday. It's Mental Health Monday. It's Mental Health Monday. Yeah. Okay. So originally I was gonna sit down there, real cutesy, real kumbaya, but then I wanted y'all to see the fit because I got dressed for y'all. Don't look at the toes, but I did get dressed for you. All right. So today's Mental Health Monday topic of discussion is going to be their obligation, or yeah, you will never find peace in their obligation. Mmm. Cutesy. Okay. You will never find peace in their obligation. And as I was pulling into the park and I was planning my content for the day, I started thinking about the obligations that kind of like popped up this week that only came up when I started to become sociable again. Meaning, when I started to come outside of my season of solitude, which I don't honestly even know if like I was meant to come out of my season of solitude at this season or right now, but we're here. So I decided to come out of my little season of solitude and start to talk to like family again, talk to friends, hey, checking in on you, like doing my part as a friend, right? As someone in their life. Because I think sometimes we do get caught up in what someone else is not doing in our lives that we don't even question how we show up in other people's lives because we give ourselves grace a lot of the times we'll be like, well, I know I'm going through this, and so just because they don't know what's going through, like I know I can't show up 100% or I can't show up 80%. I've learned that it's like if you love somebody, it's important to communicate that, like where you're at, and if they love you enough, they'll respect your capacity. But that's neither here nor there. The conversation is about you will never find peace in their obligation. So this week, like I told y'all, I was starting to communicate with family and friends and stuff. And I noticed, and I completely forgot for a quick ass second why I even went into solitude in the first place, why I even disconnected from people in the first place. And being a Latanya, right? I have found that like I will always be overwhelmed by everybody's obligation, and that's normally what sends my ass into solitude. And then I start to thrive in it. And then the next thing you know, I'm like, why am I not around people? Like you're sociable. You're omnivore. You get your energy from both. Like duality. Duality, fuck no. There's no duality in how I was handling it because there's no balance in how I was like tending to that. So crash course back into right now. When I reached out to these people, I completely forgot why I disconnected in the first place. And as soon as I gave everyone that green light, it was like boom, obligations pop right back up. A lot of the reasons why did not talk to some people right now was because I felt like they didn't respect me in my capacity to their obligation, even whenever I took the initiative to communicate to them thoroughly and clearly. I was like, let me use the exact words, like let me say what I mean and mean what I say, right? And yeah, it's like they would override what I just said. They would, oh yeah, really, I understand wholeheartedly. Yeah. So, anyways, Latanya, da 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 da, and I'm learning that with social media, we are learning words at a. It's like a beautiful thing to have the internet, but it's also one of those things that's like, if you're not wise enough to navigate it, it can be very detrimental to your education. And so we use a lot of these words that become trending topics in our daily life, and we're misusing them and we're mislabeling. And so what I mean by obligations is, so think about your job, like your role at work, right? You got to show up. You got to be there however many hours a week. You have to be remote, online a certain amount of time a day or whatever, right? Within that main primary obligation, then you have your coworkers, then you have your family, right? I have a lot of times where it seems like my personal life starts to kind of like interfere with my professional life, or vice versa. My professional life is overtaking my personal life. And then when I tell y'all my personal life, let's break that into a situation, a group, right? My personal life is now other people's obligations of me and then my obligations of myself. And the more I allow people the space to add that to me, meaning just because I'm a sister doesn't mean I have to do this, and this. Just because I'm a daughter doesn't mean I have to receive this, do this, and I'm obliged to provide financial support. Like, and I'm not saying that that is my personal experience, but I'm telling y'all that, like, just in general, right, for anyone that this resonates with, I'm not obliged to, as a mother, do this, and this, especially if the person that is holding these obligations to you does not even know their own role or play their role correctly. Because my thing is, it's a two-way street. It's like reciprocation when you're in a relationship, regardless of what dynamic or relationship style that it is. It's about when you guys are coming into connection, when you do have conflict, that's where you're supposed to, communicate your perspectives, come to common ground, and then move accordingly for the betterment of both people, right? And so when someone, like, for instance, say mama needs your ears, because a lot of us are our mom's best friends, right? Say mama needs your ears, but then she can't give you the space to talk about the things that you need to talk about that are outside of your role as a daughter, right? Like, y'all didn't, you gave her the space, you didn't talk to her, you didn't let her say everything. Now it's like, all right, you shared everything with me. Can I tell you what's going on in my life? Um, that's a situation. Or being in a relationship. A lot of the times, especially in my past relationships, I have found that, like, I would get in a relationship and it would seem like it was reciprocal, especially at the beginning. But then as I'm being pulled in every which way but loose by all my obligations, meaning like I'm a mom, I'm a business owner, I'm a worker, like I'm a co-worker, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, so many things, right? I'm getting pulled by that. Sometimes the person in my life, they feel like they should have like reigning obligation over what goes on, meaning like they feel like even I should run my own personal endeavors through them and make them feel comfortable. And for certain instance, especially things that affect everybody or the household, yes. But me knowing that I need a break, I don't need to run that through you. Me needing personal space and communicating that, I don't need to run that through you. Me deciding that this is the time to go through my vision, especially whenever we're not married, I don't have to build my vision or pursue my passions around you, especially when we are not soul tied by the tribe to be around for each other's lives. My little country self. I'm just saying. So yeah, I think this week, I think you should really list all, like, in a journal, right? List all the obligations that you have or roles that you play or obligations that are not yours, meaning you waking up, washing your ass, brushing your teeth, going to therapy, eating and everything. Those are rituals. Those are like, those have to happen for life to continue to be who, like, level headed or stable for you to continue to thrive, right? So I think we need to stop using like, oh, I had to watch, especially because if you go through mental health droughts, ups and downs, right? A lot of times, like, even just washing your ass, getting up, making your bed feels like it's an obligation. I had to retrain my brain to make certain things that just make me feel stable in life, make me or give me the space to thrive. I stopped looking at those as obligations and I look at those as things I like, I must do. Those are rituals. Those are I get tos. I get to get up and wash my ass. I get to get up and make my bed and make myself a matcha latte. Okay, you get to do those things. Um, but when I wake up and say, like, for instance, you get a day off, right? There's so many times that Latanya has used 8 hours to stare at the wall and cry a little bit because I realized that I've spent so much time doing for others that I have never really carved out what I should do in my own free time because I've always been pursuing others' obligations. And sorry to tell you, their obligations are going to continue. They're going to have another one and another one and another one. As soon as you complete one, babe, it's a never ending list, which is why I'm saying there's no peace in their obligations. But the peace that I have found when I finally dropped their obligations and really focused on the obligations that I even just have for myself, it helps structure what's actually important and what's not only for me, but when people ask me something, babe, there's a whole, I actually go through a thought process. I tell them, let me think about it. Let me think on it. There was a time where as soon as you said something, I felt obligated to say yes, and I'm doing some dumb shit. Next thing you know, it went from I was only supposed to be obligated to you for an hour to where now I'm obligated for you to you for 2 weeks. Meaning now I'm running you around, taking your word, picking your kids up, watching your kids, feeding the family, giving bread, like just doing extra shit. And it all came from Tanya, can you give me a ride here? Tanya, I want to hang out with you. And next thing you know, obligated. And then I'd be like, damn. And then once I get so far deep in it, I just be letting it run. Cause like, why the fuck did I be punishing myself with allowing these people to continue to pass their obligations on me after I realized that I've allowed it to go to a certain extent that I had already established in a prior season that is not okay. I'm like, didn't you learn this lesson? Didn't we say I'll never go back? Here you are, right back, hitting that shit like hitting that shit. So no, we gonna end the message here. I don't want to keep this long. I love you guys. I hope that you guys are having an amazing week. We are going through this motherfucking week like we are. You know how people be like, oh, like I'm working to get to my higher self. Walk like you are your higher self. I've been acting like a queen all week, and it's giving queen energy. It's like when I walk out, it's given who's this who's this girl, like you know how people say theme songs, that would be my theme song is who's that girl, because it's given that but it's because like I'm not going to wait to be put in the position to be a queen when I already know that's who I'm called to be. Queen of what? Don't worry about that, sweetheart. Just continue to follow the revolution that is Soul and Soil podcast. All right, we're done. I love you. Goodbye.